right, let's get it in.
Ms. Gutierrez, you are suing your mom for paternity fraud and claim she has named 4 different men to be your father.
Jesus, she's a hoe.
One of those men, Mr. McKinney, you have never met, and he is here today. You've had to put the pieces of your mom's puzzle together and hope today's result will be the final piece. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sullivan, you testified that you did some questionable things in your past, but you are here to help your daughter get
questionable. That's to say the least.
Closure she deserves. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So before we start, Jerome, can you please escort Mr. McKinney into the courtroom?
Yes.
Damn, 4. She done got super ratchet in her day.
Up to the witness stand. Next to the judge here. So. Up here. Thank you. Hello, Judge.
Well, hello, Judge.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. McKinney.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gutierrez, I want to start with you.
You can hear the embarrassment in his voice. Like, everybody know I done laid up with this scallywag. This broad done banged 4 niggas quick back to back. Greasy.
Possible fathers. 4.
Oh,
yes.
my.
What has it been like living with this notion that you don't know which of 4 people could be your father?
It's been emotional, confusing. I'm embarrassed, especially because I'm a mom myself. So it's important for everyone to know whether that person's a part of their life, you know, where they come from.
And how has this affected your relationship with your mother?
It's been distant. I've been like, I'm kind of angry at her.
Ms. Gutierrez, talk to your mother about the hurt you felt.
I just felt there was a part of me missing. I felt like you didn't really care that I was hurting about not knowing, or you didn't think that it was important to me when it really was, whether that person was there for me or not. It's important to know where you come from. Who am I? Whose smile do I have? Whose laugh do I have? I mean, where do I get my sense of humor from? You know, it doesn't always come from you. It comes from them. And I feel like it affected me, and even being a mother that I am now, you know, I can't tell my kids the truth because I don't know the truth.
Well, this is where we start telling truths so we can have a better understanding. Ms. Sullivan, 4 possible fathers. You submitted a timeline to the court. I'd like you to explain to the court how we got to this place.
Oh, I was dating
my
ex, who I met him at a restaurant that I worked at, and we were dating for a while. And then
what's a while? Don't jump out there and say we've been dating for a while. Not until she already about to try to be as vague as possible with the details. Don't be vague, ho. You can break it down. I ain't trying to hear that for a while shit.
I found out that Mr. McKinney was going off to war, so I
immediately
went to visit him where he lived at and spend the weekend with him before he went to war. Then I went back to my ex and was still dating him during that time. But then we broke up. And the weekend that we broke up, I went to go visit my sister, and I hooked up with Mr. Bryson. He was a friend years prior, a couple years prior. And so we just kept in touch. But when I went to visit my sister for that weekend, we were intimate that weekend.
Just one time? Just that weekend?
Yes, just that weekend. And then I went back and was with my ex again. Then I just
keep saying my ex again. You got 3 or 4 different exes on here. Can you give these motherfuckers some numbers? You act like you're talking about 2 people. Like, how many of these you calling your ex? Or is any of them really ex if you still kicking out the cookies to them like you on some bullshit? Kicking out the fortune cookie with your nasty ass. I
decided to move back to my hometown. And the weekend that I moved back, I met Mr. Brown. And Mr. Brown and I started dating from the day that I moved there. And we stayed together for 5 years after that.
Wow.
And all of this,
I don't believe nothing she's saying.
All of this transpired within a 2-week window.
Exactly. They don't be sitting here talking this bull. This is my ex, this is my ex, this is my ex. Shut the fuck up.
As far as I can remember, yes.
Which explains why we're here, involved in this case. So, Ms. Gutierrez, you were raised believing Mr. Brown was your biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mm. Damn,
It's
shorty,
okay,
I feel sorry for you. It's a little cute brown ass.
Can you tell us, when did you find out
that your mother was
Mr.
nasty
Brown
as fuck?
Was not your biological father?
I was around 8 years old. And that's when the family member had said, I was there, she was watching me, and just blurted out, do I know that he's not my biological father?
Oh, wow.
I questioned, and Perry was, I'm your dad, you know? So I went on, and I realized...
Oh, hold on. Okay, his name is Perry. Her name is Parrish. And named that. Then she done named him after the dude. You know damn well. See, bitches always doing some raggedy shit. Don't even know if that's her father, and you got to name her after the motherfucker.
It, wasn't the truth. I remember going to a military base to take the picture for the insurance that I realized that was a different name.
Where would you see this different name?
On top of the insurance card. It had the first, middle initial, and the last.
And it was not?
It wasn't Perry. And then after that, I believe I talked to my mom, and that was when the ex was my dad. And I remember talking to him on the phone, and I cried because he said that he couldn't have anything to do with me. His wife didn't want him to have anything to do with me. Wow. And he wasn't even sure if he was my father.
Okay, if you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure
they all gasping for. He wasn't sure. Big whoop. What the fuck?
Subscribe and click on the notification bell. Miss Sullivan, why didn't you tell your daughter about your ex? It was your ex.
I didn't tell her about him because he pretty much rejected her, or rejected the whole possibility that he was the father from day one.
All right, he must have knew you better than he thought you did. You know what I mean? Fuck, nasty hoe.
I had filed for a blood test when she was just a couple months, and he did everything he could to avoid the test. And then the final time that we went to court.
Oh, you got 4 days. See, that's what I don't be liking this crowd. Yo, shut up. Don't be taking this hoe's word for nothing straight off the top. You, y'all like you already start condemning somebody else. Nobody should be getting condemned when she got 4 niggas lined up. Clown ass crowd. Y'all niggas is...
For the child support, he showed me the picture of the test results, and it was his brother that had actually taken the test. The judge just pretty much just ruled that...
Because you probably had let the brother hit it too. Shit, he probably was wondering why this nigga down and we ran train. What the hell you mean?
He was going through the trouble of avoiding the blood test, that he must be the father, so he went ahead and ordered him to pay child support.
Wow.
So you got lucky. Instead of having to get your ass embarrassed by bringing half the goddamn military down there, nah, they just went ahead and stuck it to this one nigga. The courts are full of bitches too with that punk ass shit. That's weak.
How long did you believe your ex was Miss Gutierrez's father?
Up until the point, really, where she did another paternity test with him on her own.
He paid for a home paternity test. A few weeks later, he called me, and he sounded real mad. He said, "You're no percentage. There's no percent that you're my child, and I want all that money back from child support." Right. So instead of saying, I'm sorry, or because I'm the child, I shouldn't have to go through it.
So when he gave...
Yeah, so you should be taking that up with your fucking nasty ass moms. I hate how they quick to try to get on these dudes that half the time ain't even the father. They spend all this time popping loose and talking about how irresponsible the dude was when it's obvious off top that they don't even know if they the child. The mother don't even know. And there's always a smart mouth kid listening to what they fucking horn ass, lying ass mother is saying. That shit is clown. Women is the worst manipulators. God damn.
That information, did you get any closure from it?
No, because I still felt like that could have been a lie. Not knowing from the beginning that he couldn't have anything to do with
And because he sent someone else the first time,
yes,
his brother, to take the test, who's to say he would not try that again? So when did you find out about Mr. McKinney?
A few years back, she had told me another possibility, which was his name.
You've never met him?
No.
Not till today.
Not until today.
Yes, ma'am.
So what was your relationship, Mr. McKinney, like with her mother?
Well, I met Larissa about 29 years ago, and I went to a nightclub, and I was out on the floor dancing, and
I was out there cutting the rug, you heard?
Get my groove on, and I felt this little hand wrap around my waist, and I turned around and looked, and there was this beautiful lady.
Oh, and she an aggressive old hoe, too. She just stepped up to this mug and put hands on his body.
They're dancing with me, and, you know, we spent time together, you know what I'm saying? And she came up for a weekend. She spent with me pretty much the whole time together up until the end of December when I got called and went overseas.
When did you find out you could potentially be Ms. Gutierrez's biological father?
Last week.
Oh, wow, see? And here she is condemning some dude, which might be him, is the one she's sitting there, and it's the mother. He didn't find out till last week. Always the nasty-ass lying mother.
So, Mr. McKinney.
Yes, ma'am.
After you've heard some of today's testimony, do you believe you could be, or do you believe you are Ms. Gutierrez's biological father?
Initially, I thought no, but now I don't know. That's the thing. And I hope today turns out that I am, so she don't have to look no further. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I can't make that for 20-some years, but if you are, I'll start today. I promise. That's all I can do.
See, that's a good brother. I can dig that. I like that already.
That's all I can do.
So this is the first time you've ever laid eyes on this beautiful woman.
I've seen pictures, you know. Since last week, I spent the whole time trolling on Facebook like, oh my God, is this my baby? Could this be my baby? You know what I'm saying? Trying to compare to my other two daughters. I truly hope it turns out that I am, so she don't have to continue going on with this. But I just want to spend from today on loving my child.
And there is, unfortunately, still confusion because there's also Mr. Bryson.
Right.
Who we know is also a possible father. Right. So, Ms. Gutierrez, tell me how you found out about Mr. Bryson. How did he come into the picture? How did...
She said, I know who your father is. It's Delane. And I was like, who's Delane? Like, where did he come from? And then I asked my Mr. Brown, Perry, about it. And then he started telling me, you know, you guys have the same hands. You know, y'all have the same skin problems. And, you know, that I knew that was your dad all along. Your mom just always denied to me, saying that wasn't your dad. It was the ex.
Really? So, Miss Sullivan, are there similarities? Did you know this?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. He was the one that I thought mostly could be her father because the similarities were there, the skin tone and the temper. And I've always been ashamed to even admit to anybody that I had that time with him. So I never admitted it to anybody.
Did you ever get a DNA test with Mr. Brown?
No, I never got a DNA test with him. When I met him, I had already been to the doctor like the week or week and a half before, and that's when I found out that I was pregnant.
And Mr. Brown actually submitted a statement to the court. It says, I met Larissa Gutierrez in the spring of 1991. We were together the first night of meeting each other. After about 2 weeks, she informed me that she was pregnant by a guy she was dating. I struggled with dating a woman that was pregnant. Either leave Larissa and this beautiful baby girl or swallow my pride and be the best daddy I could be for her as if she was my own flesh and blood. One look at her made my choice very easy. My love will never change for you, Parrish. I will love you unconditionally till the day that I die. Love, Dad.
She had told me when I was younger, when I would ask, you know, he could be your dad, you know, playing with me because, oh, I was pregnant, but who knows if the doctor was right. And then it was to the point where my kids started to look like him. So I was really confused.
And I know that hurts you. And you deserve to know. So before I go to the results, are you confident that one of these envelopes is going to reveal that one of these potential men is your daughter's biological father?
I'm confident that the answer will be in one of the envelopes.
And that also depends upon if the ex actually took the test the proper way and did not attempt to defraud the testing process again. Jerome, may I have the envelopes, please? The first result is for Stacy McKinney. In the case of Gutierrez versus Sullivan, when it
I gotta admit, this one isn't as highfalutin as I thought it was gonna be.
comes to 26-year-old Parrish Gutierrez, it has been determined by this court. Mr. McKinney.
I thought they was gonna have all of the dudes on here. I kind of got hosed on this one.
You are not.
I knew it.
Her father.
Damn, heartbreak. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for her. Oh, that pretty young girl. Her nasty hoe-ass mother.
You were almost hoping she was.
Yeah, I was.
Damn it.
I'm sorry I could not deliver the result you wanted, but in this courtroom, we deliver the truth. The next result is from Mr. Bryson.
Oh.
In the case of Gutierrez versus Sullivan, when it comes to 26-year-old Parrish Gutierrez, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Bryson is her father.
Wow. They got the same fat little nose, but where he at? Mom Duke's a super freak.
What's your answer?
Yeah, finally. Where's her apology at with your nasty old freak ass? Oh.